welcome back to our pre-match show. It's the first of a brand new campaign and we are sure that you are looking forward to it as much as we are here at the club. Before we get into the content in today's pre-match show, we've got a couple of information bits for you ahead of your return to competitive football here at the Poundland Bescot Stadium. First up, we'd like to remind supporters that the stadium suite will be closing after half time. This is a decision we have made moving forward into this season, but supporters will still be able to get a drink after the game. We'd advise you to go down into the community hub, which is based just behind me in the lower tier. That's the underneath bit of the lower tier. Head in there after the game. We should have the football on if there are any 5:30 kickoffs, and you can still get yourself a drink in there. We would also like to point supporters in the direction of the supporter zone, which is based in the Undercroft, just in our tile choice stand. It's directly in between the tile choice and the Poundland stand behind me. In there we've got a food kiosk, a DJ, there's a bar in there as well. So make sure you head there before the game, soak up the atmosphere and enjoy yourselves. You can also pick up a copy of Sadler's Shout. It's got a very special programme front cover, so we hope you enjoy that one, and many thanks to Liam's Graphics for designing that one for us. In this week's edition of Sadler's Shout, we've got an exclusive interview with Owen Evans. There was a snippet of that on our official website, so if you've seen that and you want to buy it, you can go and read the full interview with him. You can also catch up on other things from our co-chairman Ben Boycott and co-chairman Lee Pomlett. You can also hear from Michael Flynn as well. We would like to also advise supporters that despite the Commonwealth Games being on and the stadium being used as a park and ride, that won't be in operation for today's game. So if you are coming by car today, you will be able to park on the red zone car park, which is the main one just outside the stadium, and you will also be able to access the green zone car park. If you are heading into the green zone car park, please note that this is on a first come first served basis, and there is a £5 charge which is payable by card. Bringing me forward to the card situation, we are a completely cashless stadium, so please, if you do show up with some cash, head towards our ticket office. They will be able to give you a top-up card. All you have to do with that is hand over the cash. We will top the card up for you, but please note there is also an expiry date on those. If you have a card from last season, head to the ticket office and they will be able to tell you when your expiry date is. Please note that if your card does expire with cash on it, that cash will be wiped, unfortunately. For away supporters travelling here today from Hartlepool, you will be able to buy tickets on the day, but like I've just mentioned, please note that the stadium is a cashless one. If you want to avoid queues for tickets, you can call the ticket office on 01922 651 416 and you can pre-book those tickets and then pick them up from collection. That is window 5 at the ticket office. I think that is everything covered in regards to the information heading into today's game. So let's get into the content. It's been a very busy summer for the Sadlers, with 15 new signings being brought in and a new goalkeeper coach with Mike Taylor leaving for Birmingham City. Of those new signings, Isaac Hutchinson was one of them, and following Wednesday's open training session, we caught up with him to find out how he's been settling in. You were one of 15 new signings so far this summer. How have you found settling into the group?
Yeah, I've loved it. It's been pretty easy. All the boys have been class with all of our signings really, and made us feel like at home straight away. And no, I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed the football and I've enjoyed getting to know the boys as well.
How have you enjoyed pre-season? What's it been like for you? Has it been tough? Has it been enjoyable?
It's definitely one of the toughest pre-seasons I've had. A lot of running. But on the flip side, like footballing wise, the games I think have gone well and I've really enjoyed them. I've enjoyed playing with the other boys, getting to know their games and them getting to know mine, and I think we've gone from strength to strength in every game, so it's good.
A goal in pre-season for yourself now, you'll be looking to continue that and add more to your game as we start the season, which is this Saturday, and something that I'm sure you can't wait to get into.
Yeah, no, we've all been buzzing to get to this week, to be honest. There's nothing like the first day of the season, and yeah, like you say, a goal in pre-season. I want to keep doing that hopefully, and yeah, get a few more.
This is a point of the season now where everybody's sort of finding their feet going into the competitive games, but you guys as a group seem ready and raring to go into the League Two campaign.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're in a good place. I think pre-season's only helped. We've got everything that we need to get done, and we're in a good place going into the first game of the season.
It's great to hear just how well midfielder Isaac Hutchinson is settling into life here at the club. Next up on our pre-match show, we're going to take a look back at a game from last season, and it was against today's opponents, Hartlepool United. That game was back in February, and coincidentally it was Michael Flynn's first home game in charge of the Saddlers. A brace from striker George Miller and a single goal from Connor Wilkinson secured a 3-1 win for the Saddlers on that day. So here are the highlights and the best bits from that game. Those were the highlights from that game against Hartlepool here at the stadium back in February. And what a fantastic result it was for the Saddlers. Let's hope for a similar one here today. On Wednesday morning I mentioned that we had our open training session here at the stadium as the players were put through their paces by all of the coaching staff. We'd like to thank everybody who came to support us on the day, and hopefully it gave you a bit of an insight into what the players go through on a day-to-day basis at the training ground. We were on hand to capture some of the moments that took place during that day, so here is a little highlight reel for you from the open training session. Like I say, it was great to see so many supporters here at the Poundland Bescott Stadium on Wednesday morning, checking out just what the lads get up to during a training session. If you were one of the young supporters and it's your first time here at the game against Hartlepool, or you're under the age of 16 and want to get in contact with our club mascot Swifty, all you've got to do is email swifty@walsallfc.co.uk. You'll get a reply from him, and you never know, he might even send you a letter or a little present in the post as well. Next up in our pre-match show, and one of our final pieces of content, we're going to be hearing from head coach Michael Flynn. He discusses how excited he is to get going into the competitive games and what it meant for the community to have things like the open training session here at the stadium. Well, Michael, I think where we'll start is Wednesday. We had our open training session at the Poundland Bescott Stadium. What was the importance of that for you as a group to really show the fans what you're about, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it gives them a first-hand glimpse, more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? More of a in-depth look and familiarity with the new signings, with how we, want and respect the community involved in the football club, and how we want everybody pulling in the same direction. Like I said, I've already said the other day, there was young kids there. I'd love to see, even if it's 10% of the kids who turned up become full-time Walsall fans, then we've done something right. It's a good thing. I remember taking my boy. Okay, it's a little bit different because I was a manager, but one used to take him over to Newport. He's got the bug. He loves going to football matches. Okay, he follows his dad, but if he didn't, it's that kind of buzz that you try and give to the young kids and the parents as well, and the grandparents who bring them over, because they see that living on, their childhood living on in their grandchildren or children. So it's it's good, it's important.
It is often a generational thing, especially in community clubs like ourselves, and if we can inspire that next generation, that's only going to be a big positive for the club, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Like I said, the fans are going to be here longer than me, longer than the players. They are the lifeline of the football club, and it doesn't matter what club. If somebody don't support you, you find it very hard to be even if it's the top level. You'll struggle to be commercially viable or attractive. This level, you struggle to bring in an income through the gate, etc. So they are the bloodline of any football club, and I'm always keen to involve the community and the surrounding areas within that.
I suppose now it's all about looking forward to it, and are you looking forward to getting going into the games that really mean something now?
Yeah, listen, this is what we want to do. This is what the pre-season's for, building up for this, getting ready for this. It's the business part of the season. The beginning is important. Everybody wants to get off to a good start. First game of the season, everybody's still got the ambition of winning the league and being promoted. We want to make sure the squad is settled. We know we can still improve in areas, and it'll be a work in progress because the amount of signings we brought in and still looking for more. So I'm excited for this season because it is building a new team.
So those were the thoughts of head coach Michael Flynn as we head into the brand new campaign. Like last season on our pre-match show, I'm now joined by my colleague Paul. Bit of a busy summer, I think that's a bit of an understatement. We'll start with Trevella Group coming in, majority shareholders now, another positive step in the right direction, I suppose, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it was a news that caught probably the whole of Walsall by surprise. Again, I think a lot of people around the club, I think, were caught by surprise as well. It was very, very carefully handled, wasn't it, by obviously Lee and Trevella in concluding the deal that was announced in June. And that they've come in and they're really positive and looking not just it's not just about what's on the pitch, the whole community as well, which I think is an important aspect. And the things they want to do, the plans that they have are really exciting. And I think it's an exciting time for Walsall Football Club, and I think that day they took over the club sort of rubber stamped that, because there's plenty of other reasons to be excited and optimistic as well. And it just feels like yesterday we were here, for the final game of the season against Swindon, and already then you heard Michael Flynn speak after the game, and at the end of the season awards ceremony, that the hard work had already started in planning for this season, and all those hours, those phone calls, all the hard work, all the chasing, and it's all boiling down to today's game.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't wait to get going, and the busy summer leads up to this, but it's been non-stop really in regards to that complete change around. We talk about Travella coming in, but there's also been 15 new players, 1 new member of coaching staff. That big turnover then says to you they need time to gel, but everything seems to be going in the right direction. Every pre-season game they've progressed. They finished it off nicely with a 2-0 win against Solihull Moors, arguably the closest test that we would have had in pre-season. But there were a couple of people who caught the eye in that one. Andy Williams has scored 3 so far in pre-season. Isaac Hutchinson's looked bright. There are reasons to be optimistic, aren't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been impressed with those 2 players. Been impressed with Brandon Comley as well. I think he's come in and slotted in that midfield well. The evergreen Peter Clark as well, and another leader to add to the squad alongside new captain Donovan Daniels. So, there's plenty of nuggets in that team that are showing good signs. And I think you mentioned about the gelling. I think what was positive was a lot of the signings came before the players returned for pre-season. So I think we're well into double figures by the time pre-season started. So it's not been a case of arriving at the start of pre-season with a small group of numbers, with 10 or 12 players. We've arrived with not far off a full squad, so they've had all that time to get to know each other on the pitch, off the pitch, and they've spent a lot of time together. A few more have come in, later on. But even Timmy Abraham, he's the latest signing, but he's been here the whole of pre-season on trial as well. So he's got to know the boys, and he'll feel part of the team already. So it's a smooth process for him as well. So that is one positive, that although it's a new squad, they've been together for the whole of pre-season pretty much. So they've all had that opportunity to gel. They've played the 5 games in front of fans. There was the 2 behind closed doors as well that they played. So there's been a lot of time on the grass as well, where they'll have really benefited. So I think Michael Flynn's got the team in a good position going into today's game against Hartlepool.
Yeah, and it's one of those where people probably focus on the new signings that have been made, the 15 of them, but somebody who's really caught the eye of the supporters and everybody at the club is Ronan Mayer, 17 years old, but doesn't look out of place, does he?
No, and I can't for the life of me put my finger on how the ball has not hit the back of the net for him. I think he's hit the woodwork on numerous occasions. Probably had the most, I'd say might have had the most attempts in pre-season. I might be wrong on that, but he's had a lot of attempts on goal. So you can see the confidence in the lad, which is, it's great to see for someone of such a young age. He's showing no fear. And when you're coming into a squad full of experienced players, to have that, lack of fear and that desire is really positive. And I think that's what's impressed Michael Flynn. So it'll be interesting to see if we see a lot of him in and around the first team. Actually, hopefully makes his debut sooner rather than later. It's great to see another product of the academy make that step.
I do apologise if you are struggling to hear us at that point. We've got Paul just in front of us busy preparing the pitch for today's game, and that can't be excused because we have to say the pitch does look fantastic again, as I'm sure you will have seen during pre-season. And that preparation for somebody like Paul is exactly like what everybody else has been going through. It's preparation for this big day. It is a big day to get things going, and you want to start as brightly and as positively as possible. Absolutely,
a lot of hard work. Obviously the players and the coaching staff have put an immense amount of work in, but everyone behind the scenes as well. The ticket office staff making sure all the season tickets are ready, and ourselves, we've been very busy making sure everything's in place for tomorrow. The whole football club, from top to bottom, has been working really hard. The last couple of weeks there's been a lot going on, hasn't there? We've had to meet the manager, we've had an open training session. It's been fantastic. What a day that was as well, Wednesday. Great to see so many fans, young fans, and the players go and take some time to spend with them, taking pictures and signing autographs. It's that unity is going to be massive. You know, Michael Flynn says that, and I think it is about turning that tide, changing that mentality. We're all in this together, through the ups, through the downs, and it's about having a more positive mentality, and that's what Michael Flynn's trying to build, and he's instilled that in everyone around the football club, and hopefully the fans too.
Yeah, hopefully that positivity transpires into this afternoon's game. We hope to see you all here. If you are coming but haven't got your ticket yet, make sure you head to the ticket office. Please go there as early as possible to avoid any queues and any delay in getting into the stadium. We hope you've enjoyed today's pre-match show. It's been a bit of a longer one at the start of the season, but thank you for joining us, and as always, come on you Saddlers.